Welcome to Chair Yoga with Therese. Today's practice is going to be a little bit more on the willful side. So that we'll be looking at strength in the lower body and some of the positions of creating a strong warrior, strong inside and mentally as well as physically. So for today's practice, you'll definitely need a sturdy chair, something that does not have rollers on it. If you have a block, we'll start with the block underneath the feet if you'd like to get some change in circulation, and a strap. You can put the strap underneath your chair, and we'll have a towel and water if needed. We'll start by sitting up nice and tall. And just remember, as we go through our practice, it's just that, it's a practice. Every day you'll come to your practice a little bit different, maybe exhausted, maybe invigorated, maybe happy, maybe sad. And so we're going to work with what the body gives us today. So as we sit up nice and tall, we're going to turn those palms up, roll the shoulders up, back, and down, and then feel free to flutter the eyes closed. Notice what you hear, maybe even notice what you smell. Notice the breath. In our yoga practice, we inhale and exhale through the nose. We breathe into the belly, into the ribs, into the top of the chest. And then exhaling out of the chest, the ribs, and the belly. Letting go of the outside world. Drawing your senses into this place on your chair. Letting go of responsibilities, people, places to be. Next breath, chin draws down towards the chest, and we'll just wiggle the head a little bit today. And then pause and just let it hang. Finding that beautiful stretch. Rolling right ear towards that right shoulder, letting the left shoulder just hang down. Chin to chest, we'll take it over to the other side, left ear, left shoulder. Half head circles, bring chin to chest, and we'll roll over to the right, and then chin to chest over to the left. When the chin comes back to center, we'll lift chin to sky, open and close the mouth. Close the mouth, we'll bring chin to chest. Let it hang. One more time, lift that chin, open and close the mouth. Closing the mouth and bringing chin to chest. Head will lift up through center, bring the hands down, and we'll circle around through the fingers, stretching out through the wrists, circling in the other direction. Pausing the hands, inhale, hands up, and exhale down. Inhale up, and exhale down. Last one. Hands will return onto the thighs. Cat-cow curl. Nice inhale. Exhale, round the spine. And lift up. We'll take about 3 more of these just to stretch out through that spine, maybe get a little adjustment along the way. When we come back through center, lateral stretch. We'll bring the arms up. You can either hold on to the chair or reach down to the floor. We're going to lean over to the right. We'll make this a moving stretch. We'll inhale up, take it over to the other side, and inhale up and over to the side and up. One more each side. When we lift back up, arms parallel to the floor, we'll make a moving twist. We'll take an inhale, exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. We'll do that 2 more times each side. As we come back to center, we'll release the arms, roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Notice how big of a circle you can take those shoulders in. We'll circle in the opposite direction. And then release. If you're on the block, we'll step off. The block will go underneath the chair. I'm going to stretch out through our hips next. So we'll take our right ankle, we'll bring it on top of that left thigh, and we'll just warm up through the ankles first, stretch them out a little bit. So we'll circle around in one direction and then the other. We'll point and flex the foot. Then flexing the foot, we'll sit up tall and hinge forward with a straight back. Nice and steady breath. So we're going to get into that hip. We'll get into the lower back in a little bit. Just feel that breath as it draws in and out. On the next breath, we're going to round our back. You can let the hands dangle down by your side or in front of the right shin. Then a little more challenging, a little more willful. We're going to straighten our back as we lift our arms up, shoulders down, and breathe. Smooth breath. We'll lift all the way up to the top, release the hands, and we'll take that leg down and we'll come over to the other side. So left leg on top. We'll begin by circling around in one direction and then the other. Then we can point and flex the foot. Flexing the foot, nice and tall. Let's begin with a straight back. So you can always stop at that first hesitation. So we're looking for our edge. You don't want to go too far. You don't want to go too far back, too less. So think of Goldilocks, just right, somewhere that you can hang out for a bit. Breath is smooth. Breathe into wherever you might feel tightness or tension. Next breath, we'll round. Hands can release on the sides of the legs or in front. Let the head rest. Maybe look underneath your chair if you're able. Breath is smooth. Then we'll begin to straighten the back, lift the arms up, and we'll come into a position that we can lean forward with a nice straight spine. Smooth breath. And then we'll stack up tall. Release. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down, and we'll take that leg off. We're going to pick up our block and we're going to stand it on edge right in between our legs, and we can open up our legs out wide. So from here, we're going to hinge forward with a straight back and we'll take our hand on the top of the block. Now, shoulders, notice how your shoulders are from right here, they're parallel to the floor. So if I bring my arm out to the side, I'm still parallel to the floor. Okay, and my arm is like right in line. So it's in line with your screen. Now from here, we're going to open up our shoulder up towards the sky for a twist. And you want to lift with the shoulder. Your arm will definitely come up when you lift up that shoulder. Then we'll float that arm down. We'll replace, we'll put right hand on the block, shoulders parallel, and all you're going to do is stretch out that left arm. From here, we're going to open up, lift up that shoulder up towards the sky. Breath is smooth. And we'll float back down. We can bring both hands onto the block, round our block, hands on the thighs to stack up nice and tall. Beautiful. Block will go underneath the chair. And we'll come into side angle pose. There's several variations. We'll be forward in the chair. And you can start with legs just in a V position. And we'll take our forearm out on the side. Now, if you'd like, you can take this leg out to the side. You're going to turn the toes in and roll the hip forward. So now you're going to get a really nice stretch on that inner thigh. Shoulders down. You can lift that left arm up and maybe reach over. If you feel spunky today, we're pressing down through the front foot and the back blade of the foot. So if you're feeling spunky, maybe push down a little more and just lift off that chair about an inch or two. And if it's not for you, that's okay. Shoulders relax down, pressing through that forearm. If you happen to be up, we'll sit back into the chair, release that arm, bring that leg in, and then we'll open and close the legs. Repeating on the other side, legs open wide, left forearm pressing into the thigh, right leg out, toes turn in and press down through the blade of the foot. Hip can rotate forward, lengthen through the spine, and reach up and over. And breathe. So even just sitting here, pressing down through that front foot and the back blade, you can hold here, you can feel the legs engaged. And then if you want to come up, go ahead and press down through the feet and lift up about 1 inch or 2. Smile inside. Feel that breath. And then if you're up, you'll sit back in that chair and we'll lift that arm up. We'll bring that leg in and we'll open and close the legs. So still at the front seat of the chair, bringing hands to heart. We're going to do 3 breaths and then we're going to work on a twist. So on the next breath, inhale, hands down and up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale. And exhale. Once more. Inhale. And exhale. Options. Thumbs to heart. You can stay here. Thumbs to heart. Twist. Thumbs to heart and twisted. And then lean forward and your left elbow is going to point to the outside of that right knee. Spine is long yet twisted. Breath is smooth. Shoulders are relaxed. Heart is lifted. Now, if the position you chose, you're huffing and puffing, please feel free to back out of it. You want that breath smooth, just like we practiced in the beginning. Feel the body unwind. Next breath, we'll lift up, unwind through center, and we'll just do 1 breath before we take it to the other side. So inhale, hands down and up, hands to heart, maybe here, or lean towards that left leg, pointing that elbow towards the outside. And just know it's quite all right if you're able to do one side, but it's a little challenging to the other. Our bodies are asymmetric. On the next breath, we'll lift up, unwind through center, and release the hands. Couple of cat and cow curls as we round and arch. As we come back through center, seated cobra for our back strengthener. Elbows in, hands on thighs, spine long. And then hinge forward with a straight back. So spine is long. Think about a nice long arrow. Your feet are gently pressing into the mat. The abdominals are engaged to protect the lower back, and then we engage the muscles of the lower, middle, and upper back. Moving into chair, we'll straighten the hands on the sides of the body. We'll float the arms up towards our ears. Spine is still long, still engaging the back muscles. Breath is smooth. For 3 more luxurious breaths. Next breath, we'll lift up and bring hands to heart center. Seated crescent pose. So we'll scooch over towards the right side of the chair. Left foot is firmly on the floor. So that includes all the big toe, little toe, heel. Left hand can hold onto the chair for support, and you're hanging off with one of your glutes. Lean in to bring that knee down. Toes are tucked under. So just like your toenail polish, it's pointing up to the ceiling. If you'd like, you can scooch that leg back a little bit more. From here, we can straighten out that left arm. We'll lift up that right arm. Maybe add the left. Shoulders are down, heart is open. Now, you can press down through the feet. You can feel the engagement in the lower body. And then if you'd like, we'll keep pressing and lift off that chair, just barely lifting off that chair, only about an inch or two. Heart is open, lower body is engaged, the breath is smooth, maybe even a smile inside. If you're up, we'll float down, release, lean in, and we'll bring that leg forward. We'll take it over to the other side. Right foot firmly on the floor, lean in. We'll bring that back leg back, toenail polish up, and then just adjust for bringing that leg back. Nice and steady breath. We can float left arm up, maybe add the right. We're pressing down through the front foot, the back toes of the back foot. You can feel the engagement of all the muscles in the lower body. And then if it's for you, just lifting up maybe an inch or two. Steady breath. Breathe. Heart open, shoulders down. And then we'll float it all the way down, release the arms, lean in, and we'll bring that leg forward. When we come forward, we're going to take a little break and get some water. And if you're okay to proceed with standing, you can join me over on the right side of the chair. We'll start on the right side. Chair is always here in case you need to grab hold of it if you feel a little unsteady or you lose your balance. We'll have all 10 toes pointing forward, and we're looking hip distance apart. So it's not hip distance from the outside of your hips, it's from the eyes of the sits bone. So they usually intersect about the second and third toe. Balance, follow the big toe, little toe, heel. We're going to turn our palms facing forward, roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Heart is open. And then just pick a spot that you can gaze at that doesn't move. And breathe. Feel the length in the body. And then we'll float the arms up, shoulders down, fingers close, breath smooth. So the heart is still open. The muscles in the body are engaged, and just feel how the feet reaching towards the center of the earth. We'll transition this into a standing chair pose. So we're going to hinge at the hips, then bend the knees. Don't let the knees touch. And then you're going to sit back. You're going to do your best to keep your arms by your ears. Now, you can look down real quick and see if you can find your toes. If you can't get your toes seen, just reach those knees back a little bit more. 2 more big, beautiful breaths here. Then we'll lift up, arms out to the side, a little bend for our balanced crane pose. We can take that right big toe forward and then maybe lift that leg up. So we're gazing at our drishti point. It is a spot that doesn't move. And you'll just focus your eyes on that spot. Then we'll float it all the way down. Shake it out. We're going to try that over on the other side. We'll start with our first variation of mountain. Hands out. Shoulders up, back, and down, grounding through all of those feet. Noticing where in the world your mountain is. What kind of weather are they having today? Second variation, arms up, shoulders down, fingers closed, breath smooth. Moving into the chair on this side, we're going to hinge the hips back and then bending those knees and sitting back. And again, just check in to see you can find your toes. At any point, you can hold on to the chair if you need it. Heart open, shoulders down, strong arms. Breathe. Steady breath. Then we'll push through the feet, arms out to the side, a little bend in the elbow, and left big toe forward, and then float that leg up. So we'll be lengthened on both sides of the body. Breath smooth. And we'll float it all the way down and shake it out. We're going to come back behind our chair and we'll do thread the needle. I'll give you a couple of variations with thread the needle. So we're just going to step a little bit back behind the chair so we have room for when we do our twist. Our right hand is going to open up towards the sky. As we twist, we're going to take that right arm and bring it by that left wrist, and we'll see if we can bring our right ear towards the chair. Then we're going to unwind and lift and then twist. So when you come under, your arm is going to be closer to the chair than to your body. And then unwind and lift. And then we'll twist and we'll hold here. Now, if you find this is a little too intense for you to hold, you can go ahead and just open and close that upper body. Now, if you're here, the palm is reaching up to the sky, fingertips across the wall. If you want to go a little bit deeper here, your head is going to see if it can still go towards the top of the chair. You can take your left leg back and put the big toe on the floor. If you want to go deeper, lift that leg up and open up your hips so that they're parallel to that side wall. So it's a little bit of a balance as well. Extending that leg out nice and long. Then we can float that leg down if it's up, bring it down to the floor. We're going to unwind, lift that right arm up, and bring it back down to the chair. We'll do that same thing on the other side. So starting with that left hand, we'll inhale, lift, open up the heart, exhale, twist, bringing that ear towards the chair. Inhale, lift, and exhale. And inhale, lift, and exhale. One more. Inhale, and exhale. So you can pause here, bringing that ear close to the top of the chair, reaching towards that other wall. If you want to go deeper, you can bring that right big toe back or lift up, open up your hips towards that wall. Reach that leg out a little bit longer and breathe. Nice and steady breath. Then we can float that leg down, unwind, lift that arm up, and bring it on top of the chair. Very nice. So we'll come into Warrior Two next. So we'll take our legs out wide. Right toes are going to point towards the right wall. Left toes will turn in about 20 degrees. Front knee bends. If it goes past the ankle, maybe scooch that leg forward a little bit more. We're going to float one or both arms up. If you feel a little unsteady here, left hand can hold on to the chair. So shoulders are down. We're going to extend out through the fingers and imagine you're holding hot cups of water on the arms. Feel the pinkies maybe gently pressing back, opening up the heart. Breath is smooth. Now reversing this warrior, we'll turn the palm up. Left hand can either be on the chair or slide down. Front knee stays bent, and you're going to take your gaze looking at that right hand. Breath is smooth. We'll lift back up into Warrior Two, and we'll transition into standing side angle. So you can put your hand or your forearm on that thigh. We're going to float that left arm up and reach over. So you're going to see if you can open up your chest so both shoulders are parallel to that wall in front of you. Shoulders are relaxed. We're not going to let that arm dangle. Breathe. Engaging the abdominals, pressing down through the feet. We're going to windmill back up into that Warrior Two. Straighten the front leg, feet forward, hands to heart center. So before we go to the other side, just allow your eyes to close and feel into the body and notice if you feel warmth, if you feel sensations, anything else that might pop up. Then we'll open up the eyes and we'll take that over to the other side. So Warrior Two, left toes out, right toes slightly in. We're going to bend that front knee, and then we can gaze over that left hand. So again, feel the energy out through the arms. When we do our warriors, we're looking to drop down rather than go forward. So you're trying to bring those hips straight down. Your shoulders are directly on top of your hips. Pressing down through the ball of the big toe, little toe heel, back leg, that right foot, down through the blade of the foot. We'll reverse our warrior, flip that hand up, right hand either on the chair or slide down. We'll lift, reach, gazing at the hand. We'll lift back up into warrior two, moving into side angle, either your hand or your forearm on the thigh, if needed, right hand on the chair, or lift up and then reach over. So notice that nice diagonal in that right arm from the middle finger all the way out to the pinky toe. Shoulders are relaxed, breath is smooth. Engaging the abdominals, press down through the feet to warrior two. Straighten the leg, feet forward, hands to heart center. And once again, we'll just close the eyes and feel. Breathe. As the eyes open, we're going to heel toe the feet in. We'll come over to the right side of the chair once again, this time doing tree pose for another balance. Our feet will start in Tadasana. Our right leg will go out to the side, and the heel can either be on the ankle, it could be on the inner thigh, on the calf, or it can be on the inner thigh. So you can pick the position for you. Now, never on the knee joint, it'll be above or below it. Find your drishti point to gaze at. You can take one or both hands towards heart center. Press down through that standing leg. And then choose to stay here or grow your tree or open the branches. Steady breath, steady body, steady awareness. Hands will come back to heart center. And from here, little challenge. We're going to see if we can bring that knee forward and then maybe straighten that leg out. Chair is here in case you need it. You always have a friend close by. And then we'll float that leg down to the floor, shake out the legs, and we'll do it on the other side. So starting in Tadasana, let's go ahead and open up that knee out to the side, either on the calf, inner thigh, heel, press down. And we'll begin with hands towards heart center. Noticing how big that drishti point is beginning to get. Maybe grow your tree. Maybe open the branches. Hands can come back to center. We can take that knee forward and then maybe straightening out that leg. and floating that foot to the floor. Ooh, nice job. Now we'll go ahead and we're going to bend the knees, put the hands on the kneecaps, and we'll circle the knees around in one direction. And we'll circle the knees around in the other direction. Stand up nice and tall. We're going to make our way back into the chair. Get another drink of water if you'd like. And we're going to stay near the front edge of the chair. We'll come into chest expansion and then we'll add in reverse table if that's for you today. We'll start with our feet hip distance apart and the ankles will be directly underneath the knees. The hands will come back behind in the chair, ideally fingers pointing forward, but if that doesn't work for you, you can always bring them out to the side. We'll take the palms, press down into the chair and feel the chest lift. And then you can either look where the ceiling meets the wall, or you can look up and maybe let your head float back. Then we'll release the hands. We'll circle around in one direction. And we'll circle around in the other direction. We'll repeat that same thing, but next time we'll lift up as a progression if that's okay with you. So the hands will come back again. And we're going to press down through our hands. We'll press down through our feet. And then as we press, we can lift the hips up, press the pelvis up towards the sky, tailbone pointing towards the bend in the knee. And then you can either look where the ceiling meets the wall or take your gaze up or let your head float back and breathe. Maybe after another breath, see if you can press those hips up just a little higher. And then we'll float it all the way down. Release the hands. And again, we can circle around in one direction and the other. So we're going to pick up our strap next. So with our strap, we're still going to be near the front edge of the chair. And we'll put our right foot inside the strap. So we're going to do a three-way stretch here. So we're near the front edge of the chair. We're going to lean back against the back of the chair and pick that leg up. Each hand will have the strap, and then we'll guide that foot towards your chest. The foot is going to be flexed and the elbows are going to drop down. And just feel that stretch in the back of the leg. Maybe after a breath or two, you're able to bring that leg a little further forward or not. Then we'll release that leg a little bit further forward, and we're going to take our right hand and it's going to take hold of both straps. The other hand is going to hold on to the chair. Leg will come in, foot is still flexed, and then we're just going to take it out to the side, whatever that means for you. So maybe it's a little bit, maybe it's a lot. The foot is still flexed, and we're getting a nice little stretch in the inner thigh. Should I call it a yummy stretch, or I'll just wait till we get to the other side? Now, we're going to lift up, and this is very important. If you know you are not to cross midline, do not do this one, okay? We're going to switch hands. Left hand is going to hold on, Right hand holds to the chair. I'm going to bring the leg in and I'll take it over to the other side. The stretch usually comes on pretty quick. Notice if you can still smile as you're taking it over to the side. Breathe deep. And we'll lift up. We can bend the knee, remove that foot, all the same thing to the other side. So we'll take it underneath that left foot, bring that leg up, lean against the back of the chair, and elbows down, shoulders relaxed, and just bring that leg in. Even soften your face. Didn't know you were probably holding some tension there too while we were working on the legs. And just breathe. We can release that leg a little bit forward. Left hand this time will take hold of the strap, right hand on the chair, lift and open out towards the side. Still pressing out through the heel, maybe seeing if you can get those toes towards the back wall. And just noticing how the stretch is a little bit different on this side versus the other side. Then we'll lift up again. If you know you're not supposed to cross midline, don't do this part. We'll switch hands, bring the leg in and over to the other side and breathe. Maybe lengthen out through the left side of the waist. We'll lift that leg up. We'll bend the knee, remove the strap. We can come away from the back of the chair and we can fold our strap up. Once in a seated position, we'll do our cat and cow curls, just rounding the back and lifting. And again, rounding and lift once more. As we come back through center, we're just going to take our right hand, we're going to put it behind our back. Then you'll bend your elbow and you're going to point your hand up towards your head. So and we're just going to hold it here. We're just looking for a little bit of a stretch here on the shoulder. Spine is nice and tall. Breath is still smooth. Maybe notice where those fingers, where that middle finger touches on the back. Then we'll release. We can roll that shoulder up and down. Now let's try the left one. We'll bring the hand behind and then bend the elbow and notice where that finger touches. And just notice if one side is a little bit tighter than the other. One more big, beautiful breath. And then we can release, bring that arm down, roll that shoulder up, back, and down. And then lean against the back of the chair. We're going to take this right knee, bring it into the chest. Left leg can come out long, flex the foot, and then that right foot, we're going to point and flex, circle around in one direction and the other. That foot will come to the floor. We'll bring the other knee in. We'll take that right leg out, foot flexed, hug that left knee in, and you can point and flex. Circle around in one direction. And then the other. Then we'll pause that foot. We're going to come into a big full body stretch. So legs out long, reach the arms overhead. Give yourself a nice big stretch, arms away from legs. Reach, 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 reach. And then release hands onto the chair, pressing into the chair to lift up. We'll scooch back into the chair and sit up nice and tall. We're going to take our head and look over to the right. Bring the chin towards that right shoulder. Head lifts up, come through center. We're going to look over to the left and bring chin towards that left shoulder. And then lift up, come through center. We'll get ready for Savasana, our final pose. So if you'd like, you can go ahead if you need to put on, if you want to put on a jacket, or if you want to put on your socks, or if you'd like to pull your block out, feel free to do so. You can let your back rest against the back of the chair. We'll turn our palms up and just maybe roll the shoulder up, back, and down a few times. Then releasing the shoulders, allow the eyes to flutter closed or gaze at the knees. Filling the breath as it draws in and out of the body. Feeling the breath come into the belly, into the ribs, into the top of the clavicle. And feeling that breath as it enters and exits the body. With each exhalation, releasing any remaining tension or tightness. Letting go any tension or tightness in the feet, the legs, the arms, the hands, the buttocks, the ribs, the shoulders, the jaw, the eye sockets. Releasing the tongue from the roof of the mouth, soften through the eyes. And today's reading from Daily Meditations. Be willing to be a beginner every single morning. Feel the breath as it draws in and out of the body. Awakening inside through maybe wiggling the fingers and the toes, or maybe a stretch feels just right. Scanning the body to see what might be different or the same from when you came into your practice today. Thanking the body for all that it's done and all that it will continue to do. Closing our practice with 3 rounds of Om, taking an inhalation to prepare. Om. 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Peace, Peace, Peace. Bringing the hands together and bowing our head to honor the light and love within, and to honor that same light and love as it connects each and every one of us. Namaste. So thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today, and hope you have a beautiful day, and we'll see you next time.